Now, Fifth, when you continuously call Puff, does that affect your relationships in Hollywood?
I don't call him gay. I said.
Let me read it, Fifth.
Oh my God.
Sorry I can no longer help you guys. Soon you will all be gay and happy. You are all now left under leadership of Puffy Daddy. Report to the nearest rainbow. Dinner Thieves in theaters January 19th.
Oh, that's why he says things. He doesn't even know what he's saying is like fruity. You know what I'm saying? Like, he says something fabulous and he goes, yo.
The dark side of music industry power place the biggest names in music are staying silent for a reason. And what's happening behind closed doors could destroy everything you think you know about the industry. When success becomes a trap and collaboration turns into control, even Grammy winners find themselves fighting for their artistic lives. The illusion of elite partnerships. Picture this. You're at the peak of your career, breaking barriers, winning awards, selling out stadiums worldwide. Then comes the call every artist dreams of: a collaboration with an industry heavyweight, someone with decades of connections and unlimited resources. It looks like the opportunity of a lifetime. But here's what they don't tell you about these so-called partnerships. The most dangerous deals are often disguised as the most attractive ones. Industry veterans have perfected the art of targeting rising international stars at their most vulnerable moment, right when they're hungry for that next level of global recognition. The pattern is always the same. Established moguls identify artists who've built something special on their own, then position themselves as the missing piece needed to reach true superstardom. They promise expanded reach, bigger budgets, mainstream crossover success. What they don't mention is the fine print that comes with those promises. Red flags start appearing early, but they're wrapped in so much glitter that artists miss them. Conversations about strategic direction that sound more like mandates. Creative input that feels suspiciously like creative control. Revenue discussions that somehow always favor the person bringing less talent to the table. The anatomy of industry control. Let's break down how these power grabs actually work, because it's far more calculated than most people realize. The first weapon is always the contract document, so complex that even experienced lawyers struggle to decode every implication hidden in the language. Revenue splits become the foundation of control. On paper, it might look fair, maybe even generous. But dig deeper and you will find clauses about recoupable expenses, marketing costs, and overhead charges that can turn a 60-40 split into something much less favorable. The artist provides the talent, the creativity, the fan base, but somehow ends up with the smallest piece of their own success. Touring rights get weaponized next. Suddenly, the artist can't book shows without approval. Venues get vetoed. Creative concepts get overruled. What started as collaborative planning becomes a system where every major decision runs through someone else's office first. The psychological pressure tactics are even more insidious. Constant reminders about how much money is being invested, how many connections are being leveraged, how grateful the artist should feel for the opportunity. It's designed to make them feel indebted before they even realize what they've signed away. Case studies are everywhere if you know where to look. Artists who dominated charts and cultural conversations, only to find themselves locked into deals that stripped away their creative independence. Some fought back and won, but at enormous cost. Others stayed silent and watched their artistic vision get diluted beyond recognition. The blackmail economy is where things get truly dark. In Hollywood's upper echelons, information has become the most valuable currency of all. Every party, every private moment, every compromising situation gets catalogued and stored like insurance policies waiting to be cashed in. The surveillance isn't accidental, it's systematic. Strategic use of recording devices. Cameras hidden in private spaces. Substances that impair judgment while conversations are being captured. Powerful figures don't just collect artists, they collect leverage over them. Why does someone need thousands of bottles of anything unless those bottles contain something other than what's labeled? When law enforcement seizes that much of a substance from someone's private residence, it's not because they're concerned about skincare routines. It suggests something far more sinister was happening behind closed doors. The recording economy works because it preys on human nature. People let their guard down when they think they're in private spaces with trusted associates. They make statements, engage in activities, reveal vulnerabilities that they'd never expose publicly. But when those moments get captured, they become powerful tools for maintaining control over careers and silence. Everyone in these circles knows the game exists, which is why so many celebrities stay conspicuously quiet when scandals break. They're not just protecting their colleague, they're protecting themselves from guilt by association and possible exposure of their own compromising moments. When success becomes press some quick pause, do you think artists at this level have any real choice once they're caught in these systems? Comment your take below. The transformation from creative freedom to corporate ownership happens gradually, which makes it so much more devastating. Artists don't wake up one day to find their careers completely controlled. It's a slow erosion that happens while they're still achieving external success. First, creative decisions start requiring approval. Songs get rejected, collaborations get vetoed, artistic directions get guided toward more commercially safe territories. The artist tells themselves it's temporary just for this project, just until they prove the partnership works. Revenue control comes next. Earnings get funneled through multiple entities. Management fees compound, and what looked like financial freedom on paper becomes a complex web of dependencies. The artist realizes they've signed away more than just music rights, they've handed over their economic independence. The moment of recognition is always brutal. These artists build their careers on authenticity and creative risk-taking, only to find themselves trapped in systems that reward conformity and obedience. The very qualities that made them special become liabilities in their new reality. Fighting back becomes an impossible choice. Legal battles cost millions and can last years. Even if you win, you might lose crucial career years in court instead of in studios. Staying silent means accepting the prison, but speaking out means risking everything you've built. The ripple effect of industry secrecy silence isn't just about individual fear, it's about protecting an entire ecosystem of complicity. When one person's secrets get exposed, it threatens to unravel networks that extend far beyond music into fashion, film, sports, and even religious institutions. Other celebrities stay quiet because they know how interconnected these power structures are. Speak out against one powerful figure, and you might find yourself blacklisted by dozens of others who have their own secrets to protect. The entertainment industry operates on relationships, and those relationships often involve shared compromises. Fear of guilt by association runs deep. Even if someone never participated in questionable activities, being seen at the wrong parties or having the wrong associations can destroy careers through public perception alone. In an industry built on image, even proximity to scandal can be fatal. The domino effect becomes inevitable once evidence surfaces. Hidden tapes and recorded conversations don't just implicate their primary subjects, they reveal everyone who was present, everyone who knew, everyone who stayed silent. That's why so many high-profile figures are praying their names don't appear on any lists or recordings. Breaking free from the machine, some artists have successfully reclaimed their independence, but it requires strategies most people never hear about. The first step is always financial independence, building revenue streams that don't depend on the systems trying to control you. Legal preparation becomes crucial. This means working with lawyers who specialize in entertainment contracts and understand how to identify and exploit loopholes that favor artists. It's expensive, but it's the only way to fight contracts written by teams of corporate attorneys. Building power structures that can't be easily dismantled takes time and careful planning. This means developing direct relationships with venues, distributors, media outlets, and other industry players who aren't beholden to the same power networks. It's about creating alternative pathways that don't require permission from gatekeepers. The most successful escape strategies involve building support networks with other independent artists who understand the struggle. There's power in numbers, and collective action can provide protection that individual artists can't achieve alone. But escaping bad deals often comes with enormous costs: legal fees, lost opportunities, damaged relationships, and years of reduced income while fighting for freedom. That's why prevention is always better than cure. The future of artist independence. New artists entering the industry today have advantages their predecessors didn't. Social media allows direct fan connection. Streaming platforms reduce dependence on traditional distribution, and information about predatory practices is more widely available than ever before. The key is learning to recognize predatory partnerships before signing anything. When deals sound too good to be true, when promises seem outsized compared to what you're bringing to the table, When contracts are rushed or discourage independent legal review, these are all warning signs that should trigger deeper investigation. Building sustainable careers without compromising integrity requires patience and strategic thinking. It means turning down opportunities that could accelerate success but might compromise long-term independence. It means building slowly and maintaining control rather than chasing quick wins that come with hidden costs. Creating support networks that prioritize artist welfare over industry profit is becoming more possible as independent artists gain more power and resources. The future might belong to artists who choose collaboration over domination, who build each other up instead of tearing each other down for competitive advantage. The most important protection is education. Understanding how these power systems work, recognizing the warning signs, and knowing that artistic success doesn't require sacrificing personal freedom or integrity. The music industry's dark underbelly is finally being exposed, but real change only happens when artists unite to protect each other and refuse to accept that success must come at the cost of their freedom, dignity, and safety. The old systems only survive when people stay silent about their methods. As more artists find the courage to speak up and more evidence surfaces about how these power networks operate, the industry is being forced to reckon with decades of exploitation disguised as opportunity. The question isn't whether change is coming, it's whether it will come fast enough to protect the next generation of artists from repeating these same devastating mistakes. If this surprised you, like the video, it helps the channel, share it